All right, guys, so if you haven't heard about it yet, you're going to hear about it right now. Down in Florida, there has been a nursing license scandal involving something like 7,600 individuals who have acquired nursing license fraudulently. They have transcripts, they have nursing license, things like that down in Florida, and they have done it fraudulently. So these individuals are not nurses, they're just pretending to be, and it's become a big deal. Now, something like a couple dozen individuals are looking at big prison time. I believe they said up to 20 years in relation to this sting operation. People that were involved in the schools or people that were involved in the transcripts, things like that, are looking at up to 20 years in prison due to this nursing scandal, which has actually been going on since 2016. So we're looking at, what, 6 to 7 years, depending upon when it started, as to how long this has been going on. Now, this is a big issue. You may be saying, why is this such a big issue? This is a bigger issue than what it appears on paper, because a lot of people are sort of looking at it, like a 7,600 fake nurses out there. Right. But what really makes this a big issue, what really hits home, especially for me, is nursing, it depending upon the state you're in, has things called compact states. So a license in Florida is good in any other compact state. Now, off the top of my head, I don't know what all compact states there are, but I believe there's something like 37 compact states. Any state that is a compact state, your license is good in that state. So if you're in Florida, and if Colorado is a compact state, and you want to travel to Colorado, you can definitely do it. Remember back a few years ago in 2020 when New York was having such a hard time and they were paying nurses like $10,000 a week to travel up there from their home state to battle the COVID? Yeah, imagine something like that. Imagine some of these fraudulent nurses going up there and making that $10,000 a week just because, they paid their, $15,000 or whatever it is to get their nursing license so that they can, become nurses and make some serious money. A lot of these people are traveling. Do not kid yourself. I guarantee you a lot of these people are looking after these $100,000 a year nursing jobs. These people are not going to these low-level paying jobs. I guarantee that, these 7,600 people. They're not going after those jobs. These people have to be going after those travel nurse jobs that are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, my company that I work for, the company that I currently work for right this very second, in my opinion, up until last week, had too much to do with my nursing license, in my opinion. My company that I work for pays for my nurse license. They do. They pay for my nurse license. They know when I register. They know when I renew. They know my credit hours, things like that. And they pay for my insurance as well, my nursing insurance as well. And in my opinion, it was too much. They had an official transcript. They had an official transcript on file, and I thought it was too much. However, with this new revelation coming out that Florida has 7,600 nurses that were fraudulent nurses, individuals that faked becoming nurses, I think that's going to become the norm, especially if, look at some of these industries like nursing homes, nursing facilities, long-term care facilities that have a very, very, very hard time acquiring people and keeping people, and they're going to pay people very well, especially if they're very understaffed. If I was today to come into a nursing home that was struggling, that had very low staff, very high census, and said, hey, will you hire me on right now? I guarantee you someone's hurting bad enough right now where they're going to say, yes, give me your license number, and then, maybe a paper transcript, or maybe not even that. Give me your license number and a drug screen, and they're going to hire me on full time. I guarantee you there are nursing homes all throughout this country like that, and they have hired these nurses to do things like that. Not only that, home health care, one-on-one care. Someone's doing one-on-one care without a nursing license, without proper training in other people's homes, and the results could be disastrous. Imagine if you were admin in this situation and something happened that was completely out of your control. A couple years ago down in Florida, they had a hurricane. Hurricane wiped out power to a bunch of different people, and inside of one of the long-term care facilities, the temperature got to something, I believe it was like 109 degrees, something like that, inside of the nursing home facility, and they had no power, and many of the residents ended up dying, and those nurses actually ended up doing like prison time, which it was a terrible story, terrible situation. In any case, imagine if you were admin in that situation. You're not a nurse at all. You just happen to hire one of these people. And then let's say that you were one of these facilities that had plenty of census and not enough staff, and you hired this individual, boom, just put eyes on them, they gave you a license number, and you hired them. And then an incident like this happens, and then they come to find out, hey, you hired a fraudulent nurse. You hired somebody who you didn't do enough homework on to figure out did not actually have a nursing license. That's going to be a big issue. That's going to be something that somebody's going to have to answer for, and it's probably going to be whoever hired them. As bad as that is to say, even though the fraudulent individual is the one who committed the crime, you're probably the one who's going to end up doing it. As bad as it is to say. If you were to Google right now, what is the highest trusted industry? What is the biggest trusted profession? Nursing comes up number one. With a story like this, I don't know if it's going to stay that way. You know, everybody says nurses go to school for so long, nurses train for so long, they train so hard and they learn so much, and of course they're trusted. They don't want to risk that license just with anything. And then guess what? Now there's 7,600 individuals out there who probably don't even really care about the license that they got. I went through years of training, not just in nursing school, but prereqs as well. You know, 2 years of prereqs and then one full solid year of flat out all day, every day nursing. I did my clinicals on the weekends and went to school through the week and worked third shift. These people don't have that testimony. They don't have that story. They didn't do that. They did not live that life. I remember being a nursing student, and it sucked. And I do not want to lose that. I want to try my very hardest not to lose my nursing license. And these individuals just don't have that pride. They don't have that want, that drive. They didn't have that. All they did was pay some money, and now they have a nursing license. And finally, if you think, oh, well, Chris, 7,600 doesn't sound like that much. 7,600 people, you know, it's a good bit, but it doesn't sound like much. Okay, I'll see that. 9 people graduated in my class. You can count it on 2 hands and you got 1 finger left over. 9 people graduated in my class. You know how many classes it would take to equal 7,600 graduating 9 at a time? There's a reason why nursing school is so hard. There's a reason why it is as difficult as it is, and it is sort of to weed out the weak, and there should not be a fast track. There should not be an easy way paying you in. That it shouldn't exist, and unfortunately 7,600 people figured out a way to make it exist. I want to see what happens to the 7,600 because they know full and well good what they did. But the admins who let this happen, the people who had the ability to make them transcripts and fake licenses and things like that, I would love to see the 20 years happen to them. You know, it's as bad as that is to say, they know they did wrong at the time and they were just trying to make a quick buck. Let me know down below, how do you feel about this situation? I, for one, am not very happy about it. I hope it helps. Thank you much.